High creatinine. It sneaks up quietly, and by the time most people notice, the damage is already happening inside their kidneys. Many panic. They cut out entire food groups, especially beans and legumes, believing they're all harmful. But here's the truth. Not every bean is your enemy. In the United States alone, more than 37 million adults live with some form of chronic kidney disease, and high creatinine is often the first red flag. Left unchecked, it can lead to fatigue, swelling, dangerous heart rhythms, even dialysis. But here's the mistake, blaming all beans equally. Some are overloaded with potassium, phosphorus, and purines that silently push creatinine higher. Yet others are rich in fiber, gentle protein, and antioxidants that actually support kidney function when eaten wisely. So let me ask you this. Are you throwing away foods that could help while keeping the ones that quietly make things worse? The surprising answer is yes, and that's why today's video matters. Because I'll show you 4 beans you can safely eat to support your kidneys, and 4 beans you must avoid if you want to protect them. Plus, I'll share practical cooking tips so you can prepare beans the right way without turning them into a hidden risk. Everything I share comes from peer-reviewed studies, the National Kidney Foundation, and trusted clinical research. No myths, no guesswork. Just clear, science-based answers you can use today. If we haven't met yet, my name is Dr. Mattheus, and this is Kidney Health 365. The channel where we turn complex kidney science into simple steps you can take at home. If you care about protecting your kidneys, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And here's a little secret. The last bean on the avoid list is one almost everyone assumes is healthy. I promise you won't want to miss that part. Now, let's begin by understanding exactly what creatinine is and why the type of beans you eat makes such a big difference. Creatinine is not a toxin from outside. It's a natural waste made every single day by your muscles. Normally, healthy kidneys filter it out with ease. But when your kidneys are under strain, creatinine starts building up in your blood. That's why high creatinine is more than just a number on your lab test. It's an early warning sign that your filtration system is struggling. If this waste keeps rising, it doesn't just sit quietly. It can cause fatigue, swelling in your legs, poor appetite, and even damage to your heart rhythm. And the scariest part? Many people don't feel anything until their kidney function is already at a dangerous stage. That's why diet choices matter so much, especially when it comes to protein and minerals from foods like beans. But here's the twist. Not all beans are equal. Some carry heavy loads of potassium and phosphorus that overwork your kidneys. Others, when eaten in the right way, can actually help lower inflammation, improve gut health, and lighten your kidneys' burden. So the question isn't, should I eat beans or avoid them completely? The real question is, which beans are safe and which ones are silently harmful? That's exactly where we're heading next. Let's start with the first bean on the kidney-friendly list, one that's light, versatile, and surprisingly protective. Mung beans. Mung beans may be small, but they're one of the gentlest and most kidney-friendly legumes you can choose. Their biggest gift? They give your body the protein and fiber it needs without overloading your kidneys with waste. Why does this matter? Just half a cup of cooked mung beans provides about 7 grams of plant-based protein. That's enough to support your muscles, but still light enough for kidneys that are under strain. They're also lower in potassium compared to many other beans, around 300 milligrams per serving, which means less risk of dangerous potassium buildup in your blood. On top of that, they carry moderate phosphorus and natural antioxidants that fight oxidative stress, one of the hidden enemies that slowly damages kidneys. But here's the key. Even safe foods can become risky if you overdo it. Eating too much mung beans every day may still create extra protein waste, and if your kidney function is very low, even moderate potassium can be too much. That's why moderation is so important. So how should you enjoy them? The sweet spot is about half a cup of cooked mung beans, 2 to 3 times per week. Always soak them overnight before cooking. This simple step removes anti-nutrients, improves digestion, and makes them much gentler for your stomach. And if you can, go for the yellow split variety, instead of whole green mung beans, since they're softer and easier to digest. Want a delicious kidney-safe way to prepare them? Try a light mung bean soup. Just simmer soaked mung beans with plenty of water, add fresh ginger for its anti-inflammatory benefits, and season lightly with cumin and a pinch of salt. You'll get a warm, soothing dish that supports your kidneys without weighing them down. Another variation? A mung bean porridge with turmeric and vegetables, perfect for seniors who prefer soft, easy-to-digest meals. Still, a quick note. Avoid canned mung beans because they often come packed with sodium. That extra salt is the last thing your kidneys need, and if you're on medication or have advanced kidney disease, talk with your doctor before adding them regularly. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you usually soak your beans before cooking, or do you cook them directly? Share your method in the comments. Your tip might help someone else in this community. And don't forget to hit the like button if you find this information useful. Mung beans are just the beginning. Next, we'll talk about another bean that feels rich and creamy, yet can still be surprisingly safe when enjoyed the right way: butter beans. Stay with me. You won't want to miss it. Butter beans, also known as lima beans, are smooth, creamy, and can actually be a gentle friend to your kidneys when eaten the right way. Their biggest strength? They deliver steady energy and fiber while keeping your blood sugar balanced, something that's crucial for protecting kidney health. Here's how they work. Half a cup of cooked butter beans gives you about 6 grams of plant-based protein. That's a moderate dose, enough to help maintain muscle without producing too much nitrogen waste. They also contain soluble fiber, which acts like a natural filter. It traps toxins in your gut, so they can leave your body through digestion instead of piling up in your blood. Plus, their slow-digesting carbs keep blood sugar stable, protecting the tiny blood vessels inside your kidneys from long-term damage. But let's be clear. They're not a free food. Butter beans do contain more potassium and phosphorus than mung beans, about 475 milligrams of potassium and 210 milligrams of phosphorus per half cup. If you eat too much, it can add up quickly. For most seniors with early kidney concerns, keeping portions to just 1/3 or half a cup, once or twice a week, is the safest way. So, how can you make the most of them? One of the easiest options is a butter bean mash. Cook the beans until soft, then gently mash them with a drizzle of olive oil and a sprinkle of parsley. It creates a creamy, flavorful spread that's easy to enjoy on low-sodium whole-grain toast or alongside fresh vegetables. Another variation is a light butter bean stew with carrots and zucchini. Hearty, filling, but still kidney-friendly when kept low in salt. When shopping, always choose dried or fresh butter beans if possible, since canned versions are often high in sodium. If you do buy canned, pick the low-sodium type and rinse them well. This simple step can remove up to 30% of the salt. A word of caution: avoid pairing butter beans with processed or salty meats like sausages or deli cuts. The sodium combination will raise blood pressure and add more stress on your kidneys. And if you already have advanced kidney disease, talk with your doctor before including them often. Mung beans are gentle, butter beans are creamy, and next we'll explore a tiny legume that's packed with fiber and surprisingly kind to your kidneys: lentils. You'll see why they're one of the smartest swaps for meat in a kidney-friendly diet. Lentils may look small and humble, but they are one of the smartest choices you can make for kidney health. Their biggest advantage? They give you plant-based protein and fiber without overwhelming your kidneys the way heavier beans or animal protein often do. Here's the science behind it. Half a cup of cooked lentils contains about 9 grams of protein, enough to support your muscles, but lighter on your kidneys than meat. They also carry around 365 milligrams of potassium, which is lower than many beans, making them easier for kidneys to handle. On top of that, lentils are rich in folate, an essential B vitamin that supports red blood cell production, and polyphenols, plant compounds that act like shields to reduce oxidative stress in kidney cells. Research even shows that swapping some animal protein for lentils can lower the hyperfiltration pressure on your kidneys, meaning they don't have to work as hard to filter waste. But like every good thing, moderation matters. Eating lentils in large amounts every day could still cause potassium buildup. For most seniors, about half a cup of cooked lentils once or twice a week is the sweet spot, giving you the benefits without risk. So how can you enjoy them best? Red lentils are often the top choice. They're softer, cook in just 20 minutes, and don't need soaking. A simple lentil stew with carrots, zucchini, and a pinch of turmeric makes for a warming, kidney-friendly meal. Another option is a light lentil salad with fresh parsley and a squeeze of lemon. Refreshing, nourishing, and easy to digest. When shopping, always check the labels. Avoid pre-seasoned or ready-to-eat lentils because they usually hide extra sodium, which pushes blood pressure up and harms your kidneys. Organic lentils, if you can find them, are a great option since they usually carry fewer pesticide residues. A quick precaution: lentils, like other beans, can sometimes cause bloating if you don't rinse them well. Skipping that step leaves behind compounds that make digestion harder, so take the extra minute to rinse them before cooking. We've covered mung beans, butter beans, and lentils, 3 kidney-friendly options. But there's one more gentle bean I want you to know about, often overlooked but surprisingly beneficial: black-eyed peas. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. Black-eyed peas may look small and simple, but don't underestimate their power. They are gentle on the kidneys while still providing steady nutrition, making them an excellent choice for seniors looking to protect kidney health. Their biggest strength? They combine protein, fiber, and minerals in a balanced way, without the excessive potassium or phosphorus that can quietly stress your kidneys. Here's why they work so well. Just half a cup of cooked black-eyed peas delivers about 6 to 7 grams of plant-based protein, helping maintain muscle mass without flooding your system with nitrogen waste. They're also lighter in potassium, roughly 280 milligrams per serving, much lower than red kidney beans or chickpeas. That makes them safer for people worried about high potassium levels. In addition, black-eyed peas are rich in folate and magnesium, both of which support blood cell production and healthy circulation, reducing the burden on your kidneys over time. The fiber content is another bonus. It helps your body remove toxins through digestion instead of leaving everything to the kidneys. Of course, moderation is key. Eating large servings every day could still add up in protein load, which isn't ideal if your kidney function is already reduced. The safe range? Around half a cup, 2 to 3 times per week, is usually enough to get their benefits without risk. So, how can you enjoy them? A light black-eyed pea salad with cucumbers, parsley, and a drizzle of olive oil is refreshing and kidney-friendly. Or, if you prefer something warm, try a simple black-eyed pea stew with carrots and celery, using gentle spices like cumin or turmeric. These recipes give you flavor and comfort without extra strain. When buying, choose dried beans or low-sodium canned versions, and always rinse canned beans thoroughly under running water. This simple step can wash away up to 30% of the sodium. Avoid heavily salted or seasoned packaged versions, which often sneak in more sodium than you realize. One quick precaution: people with severe kidney problems should still keep track of total protein intake, even from plant-based sources. And if you take blood pressure medication, remember that excess sodium from canned beans could interfere with your treatment. We've now explored all 4 of the kidney-friendly beans: mung beans, butter beans, lentils, and black-eyed peas. But not all beans are safe. In fact, some popular ones can quietly raise potassium, phosphorus, and creatinine levels far beyond what struggling kidneys can handle. Let's move to the beans you need to avoid, starting with one that might already be sitting in your pantry: red kidney beans. At first glance, red kidney beans look hearty and healthy. They're packed with protein, fiber, and nutrients that support heart and digestive health. For people with normal kidney function, they can be a nutritious food. But here's the problem. When your kidneys are under strain, red kidney beans become one of the toughest legumes to handle. Just half a cup of cooked red kidney beans contains about 600 milligrams of potassium and over 250 milligrams of phosphorus. That's far higher than gentler beans like mung or black-eyed peas. For weak kidneys, these high levels make it much harder to keep your blood chemistry balanced. Potassium overload can trigger dangerous heart rhythm problems, while excess phosphorus can pull calcium from your bones, making them fragile over time. The risks don't stop there. Red kidney beans also contain purines, which break down into uric acid. Too much uric acid stresses the kidneys further and can raise creatinine. On top of that, their dense proteins create more nitrogen waste than smaller legumes, leaving your kidneys with an even heavier workload. For seniors already dealing with kidney decline, this can quietly accelerate the damage. So how should you approach them? If your kidney health is stable and your doctor allows an occasional small portion, less than half a cup, may be tolerated. But if your creatinine is already high, or you've been advised to watch potassium and phosphorus, it's best to avoid red kidney beans altogether, and always skip canned versions, which come loaded with extra sodium that raises blood pressure and fluid retention. Some people try to make chili or bean stews with kidney beans. A safer variation is to swap them out for lentils or black-eyed peas. These alternatives give you the protein and fiber without pushing potassium and phosphorus so high. You'll still get a warm, hearty dish, but one that's far gentler on your kidneys. One special precaution: if you also have gout or uric acid problems, red kidney beans are even more risky because of their purine content. In that case, they should be off your plate completely. I'd love to hear from you. Have you been eating kidney beans regularly, and did you know about their potassium and phosphorus content? Share your experience in the comments below. And if this information is useful, a quick like helps spread the message to more people who need it. Now, while red kidney beans are already concerning, the next bean on our list might surprise you even more. It's a staple in Mediterranean diets, often seen as healthy, but for struggling kidneys, it carries hidden dangers. Let's take a closer look at chickpeas. Chickpeas, also known as garbanzo beans, are often praised as a superfood. They show up in salads, stews, and of course, hummus. They're high in plant protein, fiber, and even support heart and digestive health. For someone with strong kidneys, they can be a smart choice. But here's what most people don't realize. For anyone with high creatinine or weak kidney function, chickpeas can quietly become a problem. Just half a cup of cooked chickpeas contains nearly 480 milligrams of potassium and about 135 milligrams of phosphorus. That may not sound extreme, but when your kidneys can't filter well, even moderate amounts can build up. Extra potassium raises the risk of heart rhythm issues, while phosphorus can weaken your bones and strain your cardiovascular system. There's another hidden risk. Chickpeas are naturally high in oxalates, which bind to calcium in the body. This increases the chance of developing kidney stones, a painful complication no one wants when kidneys are already struggling. And if you love hummus, here's the trap. Not only do you get the chickpeas, but also tahini, lemon, and plenty of salt. That's a triple hit of potassium, phosphorus, and sodium. 3 things your kidneys don't need in excess. So what's the safest approach? If your doctor hasn't restricted you yet and your kidney numbers are stable, a small portion once in a while may be okay. But if your creatinine is already high, or your care team told you to limit potassium and phosphorus, it's best to skip chickpeas or replace them with lower potassium beans like mung beans or lentils. And if you do eat them, avoid canned chickpeas unless they are low sodium and thoroughly rinsed to wash away excess salt. A common mistake is eating roasted chickpeas as a healthy snack. While crunchy and tasty, they're even more concentrated in potassium and phosphorus, making them riskier for kidney health. A safer swap would be roasted zucchini slices or lightly salted popcorn, snacks that don't overload your kidneys. One extra precaution. If you've had kidney stones in the past, chickpeas should be especially limited because of their oxalate content. This can reduce the risk of recurrence and protect your kidneys from added stress. Now, if you think chickpeas are concerning, wait until you see the next bean. It's often marketed as a plant-based protein powerhouse, but it can push creatinine levels even higher. Let's talk about soybeans and edamame. Soybeans and their younger version, edamame, are often marketed as the ultimate plant-based protein. They're in tofu, soy milk, veggie burgers, and even hidden in many packaged foods. For people with healthy kidneys, soy can indeed support heart health, muscle strength, and even help with cholesterol. But for anyone with kidney issues or high creatinine, soybeans can quietly overload the system. Just half a cup of boiled edamame packs nearly 16 grams of protein and about 500 milligrams of potassium. That's much higher than most beans. The problem is this: all that protein turns into nitrogen waste when digested. Normally, healthy kidneys filter it out. But when kidneys are weak, that nitrogen load builds up, raising creatinine levels and leaving you tired, nauseous, or foggy-headed. Another hidden concern is phosphorus. Soy contains phosphorus that's more easily absorbed compared to other plant foods. This makes it tougher to keep blood phosphorus under control, and over time it can weaken bones and strain the heart. On top of that, soy contains natural compounds called isoflavones. While they have benefits in some cases, they may interfere with hormonal balance in kidneys that are already under stress. So what's the risk in daily life? Many people don't realize how much soy they're eating. It's not just edamame at dinner. It's soy milk in the morning, tofu for lunch, soy protein bars, or even hidden soy in bread, sauces, and processed snacks. That constant drip of soy protein can push creatinine higher day after day. If you enjoy soy, moderation is key. A small portion once in a while might be acceptable if your care team approves. But eating it every day, especially soy protein powders, soy burgers, or big bowls of edamame, is risky for kidneys already working overtime. And remember, processed soy products often come with added sodium, which only increases fluid retention and raises blood pressure. Here's a safer tip. Instead of relying on soy for protein, rotate with lighter legumes like mung beans or lentils, which are gentler on your kidneys. This not only gives you variety, but also reduces the burden of potassium and nitrogen waste. One extra precaution: if your doctor has asked you to limit protein, soy should be one of the first foods you scale back. It's simply too concentrated. And if you're checking food labels, look for words like soy protein isolate or soy lecithin, signs that soy is sneaking into your meals without you even noticing. Now we've covered soy, chickpeas, and red kidney beans, but there's still one more bean that deserves attention. It's often considered humble and harmless, yet for weak kidneys, it carries risks too. Let's talk about black beans and why they may not be as safe as they seem. Remember at the beginning of this video when I told you that the last bean on the avoid list would surprise you? Well, here it is. Black beans. Black beans are often praised as a superfood. They're loaded with plant protein, fiber, and antioxidants. In fact, many diets recommend them for heart health and blood sugar balance. And yes, for someone with perfectly healthy kidneys, they can be a nutritious choice. But here's the hidden truth. For people with high creatinine or reduced kidney function, black beans can quietly become a problem. Just half a cup of cooked black beans delivers over 600 milligrams of potassium and nearly 240 milligrams of phosphorus. That combination makes them harder for weakened kidneys to process. Too much potassium raises the risk of hyperkalemia, which can disturb your heart rhythm. And phosphorus, when not filtered well, leaches calcium from your bones, leaving them weaker and increasing fracture risk. The protein load is another issue. While black beans provide about 8 grams of protein per serving, that protein still breaks down into nitrogen waste. If kidneys can't clear it efficiently, creatinine levels creep higher, leading to fatigue, swelling, or nausea. Another concern is their anti-nutrients, natural compounds like phytates that bind minerals. For someone with kidney disease, this can worsen nutrient imbalances. And let's not forget, black beans are often cooked into heavy stews or paired with salty seasonings like ham, bacon, or bouillon cubes. That sodium spikes blood pressure and puts even more strain on the kidneys. So, what should you do if you love them? The safest choice is limitation. A small portion once in a while, if your doctor approves, might be tolerable. But eating them as a staple food, or as your main protein source, is risky. Always soak black beans overnight before cooking, and rinse canned black beans thoroughly to remove as much sodium as possible. If you're looking for variety without the risk, swap black beans with lighter options like mung beans or black-eyed peas, which we already discussed as kidney-friendlier choices. They'll give you fiber and protein without the same overload of potassium and phosphorus. Now let me ask you, were you surprised to see black beans, often called a health food, land on the risky list for kidneys? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. And if this shocked you, hit the like button so more people can protect themselves with this knowledge. We've now gone through the 4 kidney-friendly beans and the 4 risky beans, but knowing which beans to eat is only half the story. The real secret lies in how you prepare them. Up next, I'll share my best kidney-safe cooking tips for beans. Simple methods that lower potassium, reduce sodium, and make every serving easier on your kidneys. You won't want to miss this. Beans don't have to be the enemy if you prepare them the right way. In fact, how you cook them can make all the difference for your kidneys. Always soak dried beans for at least 8 to 12 hours, then drain and rinse before cooking. This simple step lowers potassium and phosphorus levels, making beans much safer for people with kidney concerns. It also reduces anti-nutrients, which means your body can absorb more minerals like iron and calcium. When you boil beans, don't keep the first cooking water. Drain it and add fresh water before continuing to cook. This method can cut down potassium by up to 50%, according to kidney diet research. And when it comes to flavor, keep it simple. Avoid adding salty meats, bouillon cubes, or heavy sauces. Instead, use herbs like parsley, cumin, or turmeric. These add taste without the extra sodium that can raise blood pressure and fluid retention. Portion control is also key. Stick to half a cup of cooked beans per serving unless your doctor says otherwise. Small amounts give you the fiber and protein benefits without overloading your kidneys with potassium, phosphorus, or nitrogen waste. Whenever possible, choose dried or fresh beans over canned ones. Canned beans often come loaded with sodium, but if you must use them, rinse thoroughly under running water to wash away much of the salt. Gentle recipes make beans even more kidney-friendly. Light soups, purees, or small side dishes are better than heavy stews or chili. Cooking beans with extra water and vegetables makes them easier to digest and less burdensome for your kidneys. You can also pair beans with antioxidant-rich foods like zucchini, carrots, or bell peppers. This supports your kidneys by reducing oxidative stress and inflammation. Were any of these tips new to you? Comment below if you've ever soaked beans before cooking, or if you usually cook them straight from the bag or can. I'd love to hear your kitchen habits. Now you've seen the full picture: 4 beans that can nourish your kidneys and 4 beans that can quietly harm them, plus the cooking methods that make all the difference. But knowledge is only powerful if you put it into action. So let's bring everything together in a quick recap and a final message that could change the way you approach your meals starting today. Today, we've walked through the good and the bad when it comes to beans and your kidneys. You discovered 4 beans that can truly support kidney health: mung beans, butter beans, lentils, and black-eyed peas. And you also learned about 4 beans that can put extra strain on your kidneys if you're not careful: red kidney beans, chickpeas, soybeans, and black beans. Plus, we covered simple cooking methods that can turn a risky food into a safer, kidney-friendly choice. But here's the truth: kidney problems often progress silently. By the time symptoms appear, the damage may already be severe. That's why making changes today, not tomorrow, not next week, really matters. And I want you to remember something. Protecting your kidneys doesn't require huge sacrifices. It starts with small steps: swapping one bean for another, choosing to soak and rinse before you cook. These little decisions add up, and they can give your kidneys the support they need for years to come. So here's what you can do right now. First, take a look at the beans in your pantry. See which ones are kidney-friendly and which ones you may want to limit. Second, try one of the safe bean recipes this week and notice how much lighter and healthier you feel. Of course, everything we've talked about today is for educational purposes only. It's not a replacement for professional medical advice. Always check with your doctor or dietitian before making big changes to your diet, especially if you already have kidney disease or other health conditions. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to Kidney Health 365, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone who might need it. And don't stop here. My next video dives into simple everyday foods that can lower creatinine naturally. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.